And so, and Rachel could quit at any time, but then she misses out on Lindsay. My point is, you don't know who you're going to recruit, who could at some point become a superstar. Could be that you could be talking to them for 9 months, like the Scotty Hobbs story, and then something goes off. You just don't know. You need to be patient. You don't want to be pushy necessarily, but you can be patient with people. Allow them the space to make their own decision. When they step up, then it's time. And by the way, you don't know who they're going to recruit. That's why you want to be asking them. Keep inviting, because you don't know what person is going to spark the kind of interest or the kind of excitement, enthusiasm that could really help so many people. Imagine how many people a top coach is influencing by her involvement in this business. 9,000 people in her organization. That's 9,000 coaches. And then all the customers who are being affected and have a chance at a healthier life because David had the patience to recruit Rachel, because Rachel got to Emerald, and this lead fell into Rachel's lap, and you just made it happen. Why don't you take as much time as you need, tell your story, and let these people just bask in your fabulousness. Right? Lindsay Matway.
Okay, just so you know, Rachel is in insanity. So she looks the part of a coach, of a successful coach. You would think, man, it'd be easy. But then you see some people come into the business and they have what seemingly is no skills. I had a failed business. I had a bartending business that got stolen from me when I was pregnant. And it got stolen from me because I'm an introvert and I don't actually like to go out and meet people. And that girl that I was partners with, she was the extrovert. So without her, I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? And then, I'm also a high school dropout. My parents were both alcoholics, and I had to raise my little brothers. And so I chose to drop out of school and take care of both my parents and my brothers. I also had a brother who died of brain cancer. I've had not the easiest life. Nothing about my past said, top coach, success story. But there was a defining moment in my life. I got an amazing man that walked into my life. I dated a bartender, and everybody in my family was like, oh, I know about those bartenders. 3 months into our relationship, I got pregnant. And I thought, why me? I knew back in the day when I was a little girl, someday, some way, I was gonna do something great with my life. I would hide myself in my room, and I would sit in there and think like, God, this has to be happening to me for a reason. I have to be able to turn this into something great. Because otherwise, why would God put me through this? And in walks this man, and we don't know what we're doing, and we have a daughter, 7 months into it, 32 weeks pregnant. I have her, premature, and she suffers a severe brain bleed. I have insurance, but it doesn't pay for more than $20,000 of the $400,000 that they sent me in medical bills. And again, I thought, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, I have to be able to turn this into something. And this is right. Because Billy brought me to a church, and I was so mad that I just felt like frustrated with God that he would put me through all that and nothing was coming of it. And then came the moment I surrendered my life to God, and I said, you know what, God, I'm on my knees. Whatever you do, use me. I don't care what way. You can use every ounce of this pain and suffering and frustration that I have to be worth it. And I didn't care what form it came. And Lord, I did not know when I had a Beachbody thing that I was going to be the thing. I called in and I got thrown into this, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I had no skills, and I had no network, and I'm an introvert, and everything I give to God, because I could not have done this without guidance from him every single day. And you guys have to understand that this is possible for anyone. if it's possible for me in 3.5 years to completely change my life, to go from $400,000 in debt at 25 to $1 million earner in Beachbody 3 years later, it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter where you start. But you have to be so convicted that you are not turning back around, that you just keep going. And no matter how muddy and crappy and frustrating it gets, you just keep going. And your intention has to be not about your own goals, it has to be about others. And I know you hear that all the time. You hear, you gotta make it about their goals, you gotta make it about their goals, but you're still like, oh man, I just wish this person would go diamond already so I could become a Star Diamond. I wish they would give me Success Club. Can you buy Shakeology already? It's the 30th and I only have one more day. You have to keep focused on other people. I swear to you, it's the craziest thing. The more I focus on my team and what they want to accomplish and not trying to push my own intentions on them, the more that they soar. Because they can tell, they can feel it, they can feel that intention that you have about what they're going to be doing with their life. And if it's what they want to do, they're so much more willing. It's crazy. They're so much more willing to drive. If you get them fired up about whatever they're passionate about, figuring out what their why is, and it should make them cry, it should make them upset because they haven't achieved it yet, or they have kids that they can't even get them into soccer, and they can just tell that this kid would be an awesome soccer player. You tell them that this business can help them get there, it doesn't really matter what you're selling. I mean, thank God we have this amazing company that has incredible products, but this girl doesn't even like to work out. Hello, top coach of the company, doesn't even like to work out, but I do it anyway. I use Shakeology, and I do it anyway, and I talk about how passionate I am. And passion is what sells people. It's your belief, and it's your conviction that you're not turning around is why people join my team opposed to someone else who's like, yeah, I think it's gonna be good. We should do this thing together, and we'll try it out for 6 months. What kind of conviction is that? I'm in this thing, and I am not turning back around, and I was like that from day one. I guess because my back was against the wall. But do you have to get to the point where your back is against the wall to make moves and be convicted? I don't think so. I think it's just about you guys showing people that there's something bigger out there. I cannot believe we get to work from home. I cannot believe I get to be present in my daughter's life. I swear to you, I don't think she would be where she is today had I not been able to have the ability to stay home with her and be present. She is the most perfect miracle of a child. And I was blessed with the opportunity to be with her. And I get to give other people that opportunity. Carl, I remember when we did our 15-star interview, he's like, a lot of people get in this business and they hit a certain rank or an income and they're like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna coast now. And he's like, what is your thoughts on that? And I told him, how could I not keep going? I have a responsibility to keep giving this gift to people, to keep changing their lives. You guys should feel that convicted. No matter if you are a brand new coach or an emerald, look at these success stories. Not just even me, I was like about to bawl when you guys were standing up with your weight loss. That's incredible. You should be so proud of yourselves. And how could you not? If you know these products work and you know how your life has been changed, how could you not be out there every single day so convicted? I have the same conviction for Beachbody. It's the same conviction I feel about talking about how God changed my life. It's the same. When you're so convicted, you refuse to turn around. And you don't care who's offended. You're just you, authentically, and you have to share it. So until you get to that point, there's always going to be that little doubt playing inside your head that says, oh, I don't want people to think I'm weird. I don't want them to think it's a pyramid scheme. I don't want them to think I'm trying to push products on them. You just share it passionately, and that's what the whole sharing, not selling. They always tell you, like, stories sell, facts tell, stories sell. So true. You'll never see me fact out Shakeology. In fact, I probably don't know more than 15 ingredients in the whole thing. And that would be like really good if I got the 15 right now. But I know how it makes me feel, and I've seen how it makes others feel. And that's what I share. You don't have to know all that stuff. Even this business, when I'm explaining the business, You can sit there and break it all down and be like, yeah, okay, so you have 2 legs, and there's a left and a right, and if you get 2 people, and those people get 2 people, then now you're gonna be a Ruby. They don't need to know all that. Just share how it's changed your life. Share why you're doing it. Look, I want to be present with my kids. I want my husband not to have to work 90 hours a week so that we can keep our electric bill on. There's a lot of families out there that an extra $100, an extra $200 would be life-changing. This girl's family was one of them. I didn't get in this to make $1 million. I got in this to help us be able to keep our lights on. I was going through foreclosure with my house, and we had to be able to, even though we didn't have to pay the mortgage, we had to pay our electric bill. I didn't have the money. It was $400 a month. You guys can gift that to people. I think sometimes we get jaded because we see success stories that are just ridiculous. And you're like, well, I haven't done much with coaching. I actually had a girl, she wrote me and she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to tell people about coaching. I haven't done much yet. And I was like, well, what have you done? And she's like, well, I just paid this semester's tuition with Beachbody money. But, you know, it's not that much compared to you guys who are making thousands of dollars. Like, you paid your tuition with some random thing you've been doing for 3 months. That's huge. Don't undermine what you guys do. And don't undermine your ability as a coach to be that factor that helps someone succeed. People are like, oh, what do you get? Or they'll be a new coach, and she'll be like, do people get a discount if they buy through me? Or like, what's the benefit of buying through me rather than buying through Team Beachbody? Or why does Beachbody give people the 3 payment plan and they don't give it to me? And I'm like, hello? I know a lot of people who own P90X and has been collecting dust for the last 7 years, and they've never completed a program. They've bought lots of them. They never completed them. You believing in someone, you walking them through it, whether or not you're at your goal, is the difference maker. You are what they get. Understand that. And even if they don't buy from you, help them anyway. Why? Because that person could become the next top coach. Scotty Hobbs never bought a thing from me. Ever. 9 months. I talked to him on YouTube. Never bought a thing. And actually, you guys had a free enrollment, and he still wouldn't do it because of the $15.95 a month. A guy who's been in the business 2.5 years, making over $10,000 a week now. $15.95 stopped him. But I just kept persisting. So you never know. You just have to treat other people how you want to be treated. Be real, be you. Don't be that person that all you do on your Facebook is talk about Shakeology and your workout programs. Talk about other things that you're passionate about. People have to feel like they know you. And I love when people come up to me, and it actually makes me feel a lot better because I'm an introvert. They're like, I feel like I know you. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because it's really scary for me when I have to get in front of people I don't know. And it's because I share my life on Facebook. I share my love for my husband. I share my daughter, all the silly things she does. I share my big, hairy, fluffy mutt. And I share my passion for Beachbody, and I share my coach's success stories as well, but it's only a part of my Facebook. Shay, my coach, she gave me a good thing a couple years ago, and she said, it's like, you like have your own reality show. You know, it's like the Kardashians, but it's your Facebook. Exactly, that's awesome. People have to feel like they know you. Why are they gonna choose you rather than someone else? Because they know and trust you, even if they've never met you. I have coaches in Japan, and they feel like they know me, which is so cool, because I feel like I know them too, because I've trained them of how to do, you know, a little mini reality show on their Facebook. So don't think, because of any certain thing, any misconceptions about why I'm here. I'm not here because I had some one-up on you. I'm no better than you. I'm just a simple girl who had a crazy past, who gave her life to God and said, use me, and he was like, okay. Finally, she's willing. I laid down the rope, and ever since, I've been living this dream. And I'm so thankful because I'm gonna continue living it, because there's people in this room who have changed my life. And he said I did it alone. I didn't do it alone, let me tell you that. If you're on my team, can you stand up? These are the people who have helped me. This happen. I'm only one person, and I can only get so many Success Club points, and I can sign up coaches all day long, but if you guys don't understand, you don't get any points if you sign sign up a coach. I have no more benefit when I sign up a coach versus if I sign up as a challenger. Same amount of money, same amount of successful points. There's no difference. The only way you guys can succeed is if you help those people succeed. So they are essentially top coaches because they have put me here. And I'm honored. And I'm thankful. And I'm thankful for all of you guys because honestly, we are one big team. Beachbody. You guys have so much heart. It gives me chills. I cry every time I come to these events because of just the emotion and conviction and love and the fact that we can hang out with Becky and with Christina and it's like, just love you guys, you know? It feels like my family. Get a part of this family. Embrace this family. I didn't get to choose the crazy one I got stuck with, but I got to choose this one, and I'm so proud to be a Beachbody coach. I'm so glad to represent guys as top coach, and I'm so thankful to you, Carl, for creating this, because my gosh, what a life-changing business. Thank you guys so much.
You know, when God called me and said, look, she's ready. No, I'm just kidding. When I was like, put her in the lead wheel. You know, it's interesting. There's a brand. I don't know if you ever walked by this store at airports that says "Life is Good," and I remember walking by that one day and thinking, I don't know what I had seen some news or something, you know, about some IED blast in Afghanistan or something, and you know, 5 guys were killed or something. I'm like, life is good. That's a very precarious concept for somebody who's lost a kid or lost a loved one or is dealing with an illness or something. You know, is life good for everybody? Is that an expectation that we have? Is that the entitlement? I think life is exactly what you need it to be. That's what I think. Like, I think you get into this business or you have freedom of choice. And your choices put in front of you exactly what it is that you need to learn, whether it's you're in the middle of spousal issues, you know, marriage issues, difficult times with kids or family or work or struggles or challenge, life. If you stop playing victim with things that happen to you and going, this is exactly what I need from life. If you accept it that way and take it on that way, you will experience life in a completely different way. You know, a football team doesn't line up for football and go, man, those guys keep tackling us. No. The game is exactly what the game needs to be. There's resistance, there's going to be difficulties, and to get in the end zone is hard. Life is exactly what you need from it. As I was flying here, I was sitting next to a crew member, an American pilot. I wasn't in the cockpit. You know, so he was on to his next destination, and we just started a conversation, and he's asking me what I do and stuff, and I'm really not comfortable talking about myself. I don't enjoy it. I know myself, so I want to learn about this guy. So it turned to him. What's it like? What are the challenges of being? How much time do you get to spend with your family? You're flying all the time. And then it gets to fitness and how do you stay in shape and whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is probably what a coach deals with. You sort of have these opportunities to get to know somebody. And like literally when we started the flight, the guy was all slouched down. And by the, you know, we were in maybe 15, 20 minutes into this flight, and he's like sitting up straight, and he's enthusiastic, and he's starting to think about himself, and he's finally getting to express what he wants out of life, because somebody sat there and was trapped and listening to him, and I made it possible. I gave him the runway, so to speak, to just, what do you want this year? What's going on for you? How do you stay in shape? Boy, the food that you eat, you know, we had this food in front of us. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna eat that. And he's like, why wouldn't you eat that? And we're just talking about this stuff. So as coaches, you know, people wonder, you know, how does an introvert, how does somebody become a coach that can sign up 1 coach, 2 coaches, 3 coaches, or build a challenge group every single month? It just comes from caring about people and talking to people and getting them to talk about what they want. You know, I was looking out the window once he quieted down, looking out the window, I'm thinking, and as I was flying into Dallas, you start to see it goes from like the plains, and then all of a sudden you see the cities start to form. And one of the things that impresses me about Beachbody is the quality of people that we attract. So I'm looking out the window and I'm thinking, you know, I don't know about you, but I get sort of vast when I look out the window when I'm flying. It's always so healthy, and I just